Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My Hoover Windtunnel Central Vacuum brush is having problem spinning when it touches the carpet, so in this video, I'll show you how I fix it. I can hear the motor running, but the brush stops spinning as soon as it touches the carpet. So the brush is either too full of dirt that's preventing it from spinning, or the belt has worn out. In this video, I'm going to show you how I clean the brush, and I'll replace the belt also. If you don't hear any noise from your brush at all, that means your motor is not working, so it's likely that the carbon brushes are worn out. When opening this brush, make sure not to remove the 3 screws here. They hold the motor down in place, and you don't need to take them out to take the brush apart. To take it apart, you only need to remove these corner screws. Make sure to put the screws aside separately so you know where they came from, because they're not all the same size. You can use little Ziplocs with tags inside them. Now I'm going to remove this clear plastic cover, which has 3 more screws. Make sure to keep these screws separate so they don't get mixed up with the other screws. Now the cover comes right off and the brush just pulls out. So here's the brush roll. I'm going to take it apart and clean it now. So to do that, I'm going to hold the gray end here and then turn the other end counterclockwise to unscrew the 2 ends. So you can see there's plenty of hair here. I'm going to have to clean all of this out. Now I'll remove the shaft from the middle of the roll. There's still some dirt holding it in place here, but normally it should just pull right out from the other side. So I'm turning it counterclockwise on the other side to unscrew it out of the dirt. Alright, so I got it out. Now I can take out the bearing from this side. I'm using a screwdriver to wiggle it out because it's stuck inside the roll. Now I can take this bearing apart and clean it up. There's a whole bunch of dirt here, so I'm going to have to clean all of this up. This brush is working pretty good. I got most of the dirt out of here. So that's pretty clean now, and I'm going to put a tiny bit of lubricant, which is optional. Some people say it attracts more dirt and it's not a good idea. I'm just experimenting and I'm using very little. Now I'll put the rubber seal back on, and then this bearing is good to go. To remove the other bearing, I have to unscrew the gray cap at the other end of the shaft. I'm going to hold the shaft with my pliers and unscrew the cap counterclockwise. So here's the dirt that was behind the cap. Now the bearing just slides off, and I can take it apart and clean it now. I'm popping off the rubber seal with a screwdriver. And you can see there's plenty of dirt in here, so I'm going to clean this up also. I ended up soaking it in WD-40 because it was full of gunk and I couldn't clean it all out with a brush. WD-40 cleaned it quite nicely and it's looking very good now. So I'm brushing a tiny bit of lubricant, which is optional of course, as I mentioned earlier. Now I'll put the rubber seal back on. Place the bearing back on the shaft. And screw the gray cap back on clockwise. I'll hold the shaft with pliers and tighten the cap down. And now I can assemble everything back together. I'll put the shaft back in the roll first. The gray side goes on this end with a groove for the bearing. The bearing goes back on the other side, and the black cap screws on top of the bearing. And now I can give it a test by holding it on both ends and trying to turn it. And it's turning pretty good, so this brush roll is working properly now. When reinstalling the roll, make sure to put it back the same way. The black side fits on the right side of the brush, and the other side, which has a gray round end, goes on the left side, which is here. So I'm holding the old belt and the new belt side by side, and you'll see that the new belt is much smaller, and that's because the old belt is very stretched. I could have just installed a new belt without cleaning the roll, but if the roll has a hard time turning, it will wear out the belt much faster, so make sure to clean the roll or replace the roll if you're replacing the belt. If you need a new belt, check out the links I placed in the video description down below. Now I can put the belt in over the roll. Put the right side of the roll in and align it in the notch. Slide the belt over the motor shaft. And now I can pull the roll back into the slot on the left side. And there it goes, that's in, and it looks good. I'll turn it a bit to make sure it turns properly. When reinstalling the clear cover, make sure it fits in all the way down. Sometimes it doesn't align properly, and then the screws won't screw in all the way. So this looks good. Now I'm going to put my screws back in. Make sure the screws go down all the way. If they don't, that means the lid didn't line up. And also be gentle when reinstalling all of the screws. If they don't go in easily, back them out and try again, because they should go in smooth and easy. If they don't, then you could cross thread the hole, and then you'll have a problem later. And now I can put my lid back on. Turn it around. The short screws go on the bottom and the longer screws go at the top. Make sure to put them back where they came from. So I have it all buttoned back up, and I'm gonna give it a test. Let's see how good it works. And that's it, the brush is fixed, and it's working perfectly now. I hope this video helped you fix your vacuum brush. Please make sure to hit the like button if it was useful, and consider subscribing to my channel. I'll be posting more repair videos in the future. Thanks for watching.